Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all the pronouns and all the well-versed people out there. Welcome to our podcast called Casual Minds. Today we have come with a topic, rather an interesting topic, and the topic is the public trial, the social media justice. Where is the line? And to discuss on that topic, it will be me, Aditya,
Rubel,
Shulagna,
Anubhav.
Excellent. And just to give you a brief on what we are talking about here is, you know how there has been an advent of the social media, the rise of the social media, how people use social media as a medium to express their views, their thoughts, their opinions. So what we will be discussing is how this social media has become a tool of cancelling, you know, the whole concept of the cancel culture, right? How we use it to appropriate certain things, right? And that is what we will be discussing about, whether the social media has given rise to a certain level of accountability, or has it gone too far into the area of public shaming, of, you know, non-accountability, of mob culture. That is what we will be basically talking about. You know, to start with, Savani, what do you think? What's your thoughts on those?
I think, with the advent of social media, this has definitely given rise to this culture of public shaming in a much bigger way.
Right.
Although I don't think that it is something which is extremely new. This has been there in humanity since ages. But what happened, like social media has given everyone a much bigger platform. So that has blown it in a much bigger way. And that is what we are seeing right now, which is playing out. And also in that I feel that people, especially in a country like India, who are actually marginalized, they still have a much lesser say and a lesser voice. It's mostly the people who are a bit more privileged. They make more noise in social media, and they talk regarding every topic from their assumption about the marginalized. But the actual marginalized one, I'm not sure how much of a voice they do have in even social media.
So if I may, what you're trying to say is that it has been there since ages, right? So
Right.
that's nothing new, is it? Do you agree with that?
So what I feel is social media now is trending kind of justice, wherein the viewers, the audience, the trollers are the lawyers. The trending page apparently becomes the court of justice, and these trollers decide, they have a bias, they decide that what's correct and what's not, with the influence of a half story.
Right.
And that's really dangerous. Half truth is dangerous because that can spread a lot of negativity around, and a lot of people who's probably not wrong would end up in jail because of the social media pressure that's created on the court of justice, or probably among police or masses.
Fair enough. I get your point where you're coming from. So you're saying in a way that in social media, because of this social media,
Yes.
a lot of truths gets hidden. It's just the public outfit which finally takes the forefront. And what about you? What do you think? You pretty much agree to all these?
I absolutely agree with their point, but I just want to add one thing here, is that why do we need to have a justice out of court also, right? And I think the pure thing that comes here is that it comes out of emotion.
Right.
Why emotion? I'm saying because what happens, right? Whenever you see a crime happening, right? There are multiple instances I've seen that has happened in the past couple of months or years, right? Maybe the verdict from the court says something else,
Right.
and the social media trial demands absolutely something else, right? But there's one thing that we have to understand is that for social media, the people who are putting this statements or this saying that okay, we are not at par with the justice given by the court, right? That comes based on emotions and very small amount of facts, right? Because the custody, the police, the court, the judge, they are having a lot more evidence in their hands based on which the judgment are being passed on. But this is purely emotional, right? And also I think with social media there is a part of the media that also plays it. And when I say media, I am purely talking about the news channels, right?
The press media, is
the
it?
press media,
Right.
correct, right? So yeah, I think this is my point. Like emotion is also a trigger that helps people make a different decision or want different sort of justice from the court.
Totally, I understand. I mean, that gets me to the second part of our discussion here, which is, I get it. I mean, most of you have concurred with one particular aspect, which is that such kind of a social media outrage, which does not which is not balanced, is unhealthy in a way. But I have a viewpoint, which is a separate viewpoint, which is I believe there is a certain, because of such outrages, that probably there is a marginalized section which gets heard. I'll give you a very simple example, which is the Me Too. It would have been impossible, even if it not had been for social media when it started, like, I don't know, 5-6 years back during the time of our COVID. It would have been next to impossible to bring to forefront what women, I'm sure you would be able to empathize with that what they had gone through. It could not have come to the forefront, especially when considering that those are all powerful people you're dealing with, and that was the whole, the fight against the so-called entitlement, right? That was a Me Too, which democratized the whole system of justice. It was just not that, as you said, all of you have rightly pointed out that the code of justice is important, that people need to actually have that, faith at the end of the day in the justice system so that they can get it at the right forum and the right place. But sometimes it does not always work in that way. And I'll give you it was just Me Too was one of the examples. There can be examples with the other, recently there was this comedian thingy, or even Fabbing, I don't know, I'm not sure whether you guys heard about this one. Remember there was this Fab India, was it Fab India or was it Tata's? I don't know, someone's advertisement which was regarding Diwali, and something was said in that Diwali.
Yeah, Tanishq, I think.
Yeah, something was said, and then, it was apparently hurtful, culturally hurtful, which majority of the people said, and hence it was appropriated and they changed it, they removed it. So in a way it was there. But of course, having said that, now does it mean that we have to, give rise to a mob mentality? Does such, I get it that it gives voice to the marginalized, but does it, does it really encourage inclusivity, or does it create more of a mob violence or a mob mentality culture, or, some kind of a violent aggressive, that if it is not my way, then, you take the highway kind of thing.
Correct.
What do you think about that?
I have a separate question here. Like, as you rightly pointed out, that sometimes it gives voice to the marginalized, right? In case of the Me Too movement. But even in such a movement, it's only the marginalized who is among the better off section of the economic class, they got the voice. Even in the ones who are economically backward, did they have any voice in the Me Too movement?
I'll just give you an example of Me Too. But if you see most of the meaning of the social, I'm not sure when you're talking about economically backward, especially with respect to India, right? You would see. I'll even give you. There has been lots of instances. I'm not trying to take one side or the other, but there has been instances wherein, if you think about it, I reckon where it is coming from, that we consider the topics that usually get floated or get more media coverage, probably, or whatever, in the national media coverage, is probably more elitist kind of thing. But then Me Too was not really elitist. Because certain people had that courage to come. It gave voice to a lot of probably even economically backward people. And I'm sure if you go through some of the social medias, how people of the unheard, which may be from the socially backward or the economically backward or whatever kind of segment, they do have a way of putting through that's where I would like to disagree, probably, but it's just not economically affluenced who are being benefited from this. My understanding would be that. But of course, there is a possibility that when an economically affluent...
But I think they get a voice, the marginalized people get a voice because of it. Because I'll tell you, I have another point here, that is, I agree with you here, because we are talking about Me Too's or the big movements that had happened, right? But if you go across your social media, you'll always get to see that there are delivery boys, there are maids who are working. They had some sort of injustice has happened to them. Delivery boy was not paid, or he was
treated badly,
or there was some sort of abuse to the maid has been done, and they have come on social media. They have posted their views and things, and immediately people have come to rescue them and have protested against them, and legal complaints has been lodged, and
but that's when the second part comes.
Correct.
Now, is this mob mentality, right?
Correct.
Because someone has posted, because we do not know the story.
Yeah.
Correct.
Which he rightly said.
Correct.
Which you do not know the story. The entire, it's the hard truth. It's the one-side perspective, right?
True.
Because it was such a big, support or whatever, the mob mentality, then people in the power get into it, and then suddenly the authorities start taking action.
Yes.
Yeah.
Without even knowing the whole truth.
Also, see, recently one incident has occurred, I think few months back.
Right.
See, a lot of small town girls, they have dreams to become an actor.
Actresses,
They
why not?
they move to Mumbai, and
Right.
they're not economically that strong. If you're economically strong, it kind of is a privilege for you in the industry,
system,
an industry like this, because it comes with a lot of plus points, like surviving in a city like Mumbai. It's
Right.
expensive, but women who are having the dream just out of passion, but they
Right.
don't have the money,
Right.
they have to struggle, they have to kind of do part-time jobs, or
right.
probably pick up a full-time job and then have to go down for auditions. They also don't have the right contacts.
Right?
If you have the money, you also have the right contacts, but women like this, they probably don't have the right contacts.
How is that
so
relevant to this?
so I'll tell you why. Because these kind of women, they come across a lot of casting directors who are probably not working in the industry, but they advertise themselves or identify themselves as
Right.
casting directors,
Right.
and they're not working as casting directors for huge production companies. And that's how these women, they end up getting into illegal porn movies or
So, but
things like
are
that.
you saying then this becomes a medium for them to actually show their
Exploit.
life?
Yes, exactly.
I mean, is
So
that what
this
you're
has
saying?
happened recently. A casting director, he's again, quote unquote, I don't want to name him, he's from a big production house. A lot of actors have raised their voice against
Right,
this casting
right.
director. This happened just 2 months back.
Okay.
And he has been molesting a lot of women
Right.
since past 10-15 years.
Right.
And recently, everybody has started protesting because one woman raised her voice, and
Right.
women who have been in this zone since
Industry,
past
yeah.
16-15
Yeah.
years been molested, they
They
got
came
the
out.
voice,
Yeah,
they came out.
Right.
And
came out of the closet.
This
right?
is
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
possible if social media exists.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
absolutely.
it can target a
No,
huge
not-
mass at one go, right?
Absolutely.
But again, as I say that there are incidents like this wherein men are actually doing such things. They are exploiting women. But there are also incidents where women are exploiting men.
True,
They are using this
absolutely,
hashtag Me Too
absolutely.
in a negative sense. They are probably putting up fake hashtag Me Too stories. I think you would. Because I think we were having a discussion the other day, and you had certain points on this. We were discussing about how women are exploiting men nowadays, and that's happening on social media.
But yeah, that is a topic of a different,
Yeah.
discussion for a different topic. But no, having said that, you have rightly said that, certain aspects, they get an outlet, right, where they can, put forth their views, even if it is going, because they do not have anywhere else to go to, right?
Right.
This invariably brings to another point or another, thought regarding this topic, is that, is it like the women are more publicly shamed, if I consider that, all right, which is not constructive. I'm taking it away from the fact that, okay, when it is constructive, it's constructive, but if it is not constructive, do you think that the women are more rather in the social media specifically, being more judged, more shamed publicly compared to men? What is the take on those even for the men who are there? What do you think about that?
I think-
or do you think, nah, it's not like nothing like that?
No, I don't think like that. I think that there are all kinds of cases.
Right.
So, First of all, I believe that we are still in a transient phase when it comes to equality. It's still a very new concept in the world, although we may not.
With respect to what?
With respect to, let's say, for example, if you consider patriarchy, like women coming out and working, and we are trying to make the world a much more
But yeah, those are different topics, don't you think?
No, yeah, those are different topics.
Right.
But I feel like that since we are in that transient zone yet,
Right.
so social media at the end of the day is just a mirror of our own society and its transitions, right? So there are some.
With respect to India specific, you're talking about, or are you
I
talking
think-
this is a phenomenon you reckon
I
is
think
global?
it's global only. What I feel like, there are certain topics and certain cases where women are shamed more, and it can be the other way around as well. So, but saying that from like me being a man, it's very difficult for a man to simulate that, right?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
It's only a woman who will be much better person or have a
Yeah.
much better human point on that, like what women are feeling on that. But I feel like, yeah, in certain topics, women are probably shamed more,
Oh, okay.
and nowadays it is giving rise to certain angle and topics where even men are shamed more. But that is still in the rise.
Well, like, what kind of topics you reckon in which the men are judged? I mean, I can have like multiple topics
Yeah,
where
I
the women
feel-
are judged. I mean,
True,
there is no end to that.
Yeah,
But what
I
kind
think
of topic-
there are multiple cases like this. So, for example, I still like to believe that women in our society right now, they hold a place where they are more sensitive towards any sort of social media like discrimination or anything that happens to women,
Right.
right?
Mm.
Because historically, at least in India or globally, right, they have been marginalized, and there have been issues all over the globe, right?
Right.
And today we live in a society where we consider problems, like for example, I'll take an example here.
Right.
So let's say there are multiple videos like this, you'll say, not sure how true they are, or I'm just not pointing out any one instance.
Right.
So a woman hitting a man immediately on the streets,
Right.
people
Like
gather,
hitting as in slapping.
or like pushing or something of that sort, right? So immediately people gather and they start hitting the man, and irrespective of the fact that
You don't know what the truth is.
what the
Yeah.
truth is, right?
Right.
And if
So
the
that's the bias, right?
if the same
Thing happened, yeah,
reverse
reverse,
thing,
yeah.
but yeah, not stating the fact that we should hit women or something, right? Absolutely not. Just stating a fact, just stating a scenario, not a fact. Yeah.
So ideally, no one should hint
Anybody, right?
True, true.
If that happens, right, immediately people will gather and they'll also start to hit the man, right?
Yeah.
So
I think
if like it's a very
point.
basic example,
Yeah,
like on a layman term,
Yeah, exactly. No, you have a
because
point. Yeah.
we are still in the phase we consider problems of men very irrelevant at times, and we don't pay that much attention. But that doesn't mean women and men, they are having equal level of problems. But I still would love to give what do you call that, like benefit of doubt to women right now, because
Yeah.
I think they should be given that platform right now where they can come and they can have all the things that they have wished for all these years. So yeah, I'm up for that.
Excellent.
You
That
go,
we
girl.
all are.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
See, what I feel is when it comes to social media, in terms of gender, women are characterized and men are trolled. I think this is the major difference.
Even if they're
We-
characterized, even they are trolled, right? I mean, what if you,
Yeah.
if the women,
No,
if the women
women
wear
are
something
characterized like
and then
they are questioned about,
and that
you
is
know,
trolling, right? I mean, so
yes,
you question-
absolutely.
yeah.
But nobody.
I get your point, though.
Nobody
Yeah.
picks up a
Mm.
finger at a guy, wearing certain kind of clothes. But that would be
The fashion is an important aspect.
Yes.
Wow, yeah.
Also,
Do that,
not
do
not
that.
just fashion.
Yeah.
Recently, there was a comedy show.
Mm.
It was an open platform where a man came down for the show and he insulted a woman who was on the panel.
Right.
But the woman was shamed because she answered back.
Right.
And
Yeah.
she did not have worked for
Mm.
probably couple of months.
Mm.
But the beauty of social media is such that when these kind of boycotts happen,
Right.
and then there is a certain lashback,
Right.
these people get a lot of importance.
As in these people when you're talking about the trollers.
As in, no.
No, the
So,
celebrities.
suppose I am a celebrity,
Oh, the person who
you
got trolled.
boycott me, I come back after 2 months or 3 months, I get a lot of views on social media.
No, that sympathy view she's
Yes,
talking
not
about.
sympathy view. People are eager to know, oh, she was off for 2 months. Now we need to know what she's doing. Even there was a very famous actor, female actor. She was trolled and shamed in the year of 2020 because apparently the social media judgment was passed on that she has murdered her boyfriend. But ultimately, even the boyfriend was an actor, famous actor. He committed suicide. But social media decided that this lady, because she's from Bengal, she's done some sort of kala jadoo. You know how they say women of Bengal they do kala jadoo.
Yeah, I think
I get that
this
point.
is a very interesting
Very
case.
good example of
very
Yes.
good example
Very
because
good
now
example
what
of mob
happens?
attack.
What happens now
the
when
mob
the
mentality
court-
at that point of time.
Yeah,
it's
so when the
important.
court
Yeah,
went through
yeah.
the entire investigation and found her not guilty, now people for all this time has been emotionally charged with a certain bias against a woman.
Absolutely.
Now they are not emotionally ready to even accept the court's verdict.
Exactly.
And then in their mind it's like the entire system is rigged.
Correct.
Now it puts a lot of, I don't know, it puts a lot of pressure on the system as well that they had to deal with this social
It's all
media
interconnected, but these
Also
are like
what's
the
funny is-
wider
Right.
transitions that we can probably talk about because yeah, as you all pointed out correctly, because there's no right way to actually, because some way or the other. But what brings me to the next point or the next part is that so even if there be a mob mentality, even if there be a violence incorrect or whatever judgmental kind of an aspect or a judgmental instant judgment, right? In spite of that, even if they make something wrong, even if someone does something wrong, doesn't everybody require a second chance? I mean, then where do we draw the line for accountability and shaming? Because someone may have done it. We do not know whether it's right. I mean, whether they have done it or not done it. But at the end of the day, if someone has done it, then even via social media, even if I have to correct that person, or even have to tell to that person, then shouldn't that person be given a second chance for him to apologize rather than outright shaming him completely? So we can hold him accountable for the things that he has done, right? But then at the same time, to make sure that once we have made him accountable, he needs to be cancelled. Like he needs to be completely ostracized from the society. I think that's where we need to have that balance and the
I think I completely agree with you,
Right.
and you are absolutely correct. So, what I feel like why this thing is happening in social media as well, because like in a country like India, where we do follow democracy,
Right.
it's been long back that we have shifted to a reformist kind of judicial system.
Yes.
But emotionally, people are still not ready to accept a reformist kind of judicial system.
What do you mean by reformist?
Where
Our judicial system has been as long and has been holding tight for a very long time, right? Since independence, we have been following the same.
same. But overall, it is a reformist kind of system where the
Most of the democracy, like
benefit
that,
of doubt is even given to the person who is a suspect, right? That person even have a human right and they can prove themselves whether they are actually guilty or not. And even if they are found guilty,
And hence, that is the code of justice.
Yeah.
But we are talking about the
No.
social media when people unnecessarily.
that's what I'm telling. That
Yeah.
that's there is a disconnection, right? Because in social media, the justice and the trial, people want the result instantaneously.
Why?
Because
Why do you guys think that it is happening like that? Like, why have we become, and hence that's the point. Like, why is we are unable to appreciate or have that patience that no, even if he be right or wrong, we have put it forth. Let the authorities or whoever are there to decide that be the ones to decide it. Who are? Why is that mob becoming so violent nowadays, or why is it becoming a mentality wherein if I think that this is wrong, then this is wrong. Most of the people get together and let us give us justice.
See, either people are jobless or they are working really hard. Or they are probably working really hard. So in both the cases, both the extremes, if they are jobless, they have a lot of time to indulge in mob attacks. And if they don't have a lot
Do
of
you think
time,
jealousy is a factor as well? In certain cases,
Yeah.
not all. But do you think reckon jealousy that, oh my God, he's doing that, I'm not
Yes,
able to do that?
and that is also another dangerous aspect of social media, because if
Right.
you come across a lot of posts, there is a comparison, constant comparison,
Yeah, I
that
understand.
oh, this person is staying in 5-star, he's doing this, he's doing that, and my life is not that happening.
Right.
Probably this person, he's just going to a 5-star hotel, having a cup of coffee, and he's not doing anything, and he's probably not staying there, but he's posting a picture and he's trying to kind of show that off, and people are having constant comparison in their head.
I think we are all guilty of the same thing, because none of us would like to post event from our life which is where
What
we are
you
going.
post is your post. I mean,
No.
that has nothing
No,
to do
but-
with.
but
I mean,
what we are
I'm not
feeling,
shaming
what-
anybody, or
I'm not shaming
what
anybody.
I am posting. Now, if someone does not like what I post,
Right.
I mean, he or she has the right to, since we are in public place,
No,
right? I mean, at the
absolutely.
center of the social
Absolutely.
media, we are in a public place. So when we are posting, at the end of the day, you also want it to be either appreciated or whatnot,
Yeah.
acknowledged at
No,
least.
but
Let's
what
put
I'm
it that
telling,
way.
we post only the good moments, right? From
So
our
why
life.
would anybody point
Yeah,
to
true.
post?
But what it is doing, like if
Yeah,
when
right.
I am down,
Right.
I am seeing post of everyone's life is so
And that
good.
makes you,
Yeah,
like,
that
depressed.
makes me feel
Oh,
more
right,
bad. And when I'm talking like telling like me, it's
Yeah.
not me. Maybe that's a general.
No, yeah, absolutely.
It happens
Possible.
to everyone.
Yeah, because everybody thinks, oh my God, everybody's life is so hunky dory, so beautiful. But in reality,
Yeah,
it
and
might be something
also
else.
why this mob.
So let's. I just want to add on one point here, that why this thing happens in social media, that why we need this instant gratification or
Right.
instant judgment that we need.
Right.
So the only thing that I believe here is that. So see,
And you do think that social media has aggravated that instant gratification?
Yes, it has, definitely
Right,
it has,
right.
because that is the whole purpose of it, right?
Right.
Like you are getting instant videos, short clips nowadays, so
Right.
it's fulfilling your instant desires immediately, right? So,
Right.
so the only thing that I believe here is that, let's say you are a person.
So are we talking about instant desires like fame?
Not
I mean, what
fame.
is my instant
For
desire?
example, let's say-
money, fame? Because of course we are digressing from a very
I think
different
people just
point,
want to be
but-
recognized in
which
so-
is not a bad thing.
Which is
But
not a bad
it is,
thing,
it
but-
becomes a bad thing when people unnecessarily judge you and then they expect you
But
to
it also-
conform to their ideas and thought
But I
processes.
think we are digressing a little bit.
Yeah, we
Yes.
are.
Why-
We
why-
are becoming a bit.
So I would
yeah.
like to put one point, that why the mob mentality is increasing after the advent of social media is also.
Is it increasing?
Yeah.
So are we agreeing that it is increasing?
lot. It is
Alright,
because
alright.
the algorithms are designed in a way to make people more polarized.
Alright,
because
that's like more technical.
No, it's-
we are not even
yeah.
going into that.
No,
and
what
we-
I'm trying to say,
because
like,
it
for
has a
example-
domino effect, right?
Yeah,
That's what
for
I think
example,
he's trying
we
to
are
tell.
even we are doing this for social media, right?
Right.
Now, if we would have, just.
So are you
come-
saying if we do say something like spicy, then it
no,
will
I
actually the
take
algorithm
sides.
will actually
Either
make
if
it
we
more
take
like, oh my God,
yeah,
make
or
it.
if we take
Yeah.
a more extreme side
Right.
regarding a particular topic, the algorithm is going to push it much faster to people who the algorithm knows that already has certain kind of confirmational bias about that.
Maybe you guys have a point about that.
What's funny is this is actually the beauty of social media, as you kind of don't like certain content, certain people are boycotted, they bounce back. As I said previously, they bounce back. So this is how social media can give you fame, and they can put you down, then again they can give you fame, because there is a constant need for satisfying that urge. Probably people like masala, and they're looking for crispy content.
Right. Makes sense. Yeah, that is there though. Yeah, I mean, people coming back. I mean, but then maybe it is. Of course, it's a different topic to talk about, because
Yes.
once you are going into that psychological trauma, to come back, not everybody can. I mean, probably the cases, if we even have heard, or maybe they have a different support base and whatnot. But apparently, I've been told, I've read somewhere that once they go through all these ostracization, rather, psychologically, that affects them a lot, and it actually. We call it chars their character or something like that. But anyway, moving on to our final part, which pretty much we have had a discussion about how the positives of the social media. Yes, it gives you an outlet, and then of course the mob mentality, how it also chars you, how it also degrades you, kind of thing. But finally, the final part that I would like to finally discuss upon is Then what is our final goal? I mean, for this so-called cancel culture, or we call it this mob justice, or whatever, social media justice. After all, what is our goal? Why do we want this? Why are we doing it? Do we want this to give a punitive action, eraser? Like, no, I want a punishment. I'm doing this because I want this person to be punished. I do not want to wait for someone else to do it. Or are we doing this so that the society changes, the society becomes more sensitive to the issues of the others, right? To every, whether it be any particular marginalized community, sector, section, corporates, whatnot. Everybody gets sensitive, becomes sensitive that no, I cannot just for the heck of anything just put a post, right? Because I have to be sensitive towards others. Or is it to increase educational values? Like, for example, you do not know anything, it's better you get educated. I don't know. What aspect, what is our final goal, do you think? Or of such mob or of such justice system, what is our final goal, do you think?
See, social media.
Or is there any goal at all? Or people just do it because they have time, as you said?
See, social media is a platform which was supposed to be a neutral platform. What I think when people invented social media, because it creates awareness.
Definitely an outlet to say, yeah.
Nowadays, what's happening is more than awareness, people are getting unaware of the truth.
Yeah, I mean, it's like instant information.
It's the opposite.
I would like to add something like from the time that social media got monetized, right? So let's say if there is a certain event or a news that is happening, so there are certain handles who monetize that situation. Now to monetize that, they either need to take a particular side here or there.
Right.
Now then when they are peddling that, other people connect with that. They do not benefit out of that. That creates this problem. But it is the one who are monetizing, they get
finally, no, what I want to know, we discussed that. Look, so finally, why do you think, let's put it personally, your personal opinion on it, and I'll go with everybody's after that, why do you think social media shaming is happening? I wouldn't just say shaming, accountability or shaming is happening. What is the final goal? Why do people do it?
First of all, people are frustrated in their own lives, and then when they are exposed to content 24/7 a day where it is polarized on one side, then they everyone do not have the time to think deeply and with that amount of empathy and
so to give immediate punishment. That is what you're thinking. That is the whole idea. Most of the people
are not at fault even completely.
I'm not talking about fault
because see, when you see such polarized content all day in your free time, what it's doing to you, it's giving a very negative sense of the entire world around you, right? So if we post a positive news, that doesn't travel that much faster. If it is a negative news, and also there is a human bias, right? So we think, and when we are seeing this only in social media all the time, like a dominant effect is of the negative events, then we feel like the world around us is becoming more bad, and that makes us more fearful. So out of that fear, we are becoming more reactive.
Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
So you think that the whole idea of it is finally to give justice, to give some punishment? Is that finally that segment is what I'm thinking? Is the final goal of all this so-called posting or shouting or whatnot is to get an immediate justice for the event that I think has been wronged? Are we not patiently? Which I understand from your point of view is... because what about you?
See, I feel that yes, it is about justice, but this about justice also becomes very personal. It is about self-satisfaction.
Right. So it's nothing to do with the greater growth of society.
Greater
not
growth,
the society
initially,
changing. I want to change the society.
Certain people, but I think the percentage is very low who actually want the justice, but it is about self-satisfaction.
Instant.
Yes, and I would get a lot of trolling because of saying it out, but this is the reality. And this is my opinion.
I think what she pointed out, a lot of people here would not even know the facts, or they wouldn't even know what the entire scenario is. They would just jump in because this is a trending topic and I know which one is the polarized view. I'll be a part of it. I'll get more views. I'll get more likes, and I'll be more in the field. Because if you consider and you see that there will be multiple people who have posted videos which would be like completely different from what they had posted or their views were before, right? And it goes with the common trend right now. Okay, this is the trend, and if I am the one who's posting such kind of video right now, I'll get more views and I'll get more likes, right? So a fame thing also is there, definitely. Not everybody is doing it for justice or satisfaction. A lot of people are also doing it for just for sake of fame.
The one thing that apparently, viewers, if you're listening to us, is for sure that no one thinks that anybody is doing are in social media for the greater good or for the societal change or the benefit of the, maybe there are people which I would like to believe.
I think a certain notion is definitely there.
I mean, I would like to believe that.
So before
media
ending, I would like to ask one last question to all three of you. So when we are talking about justice, what do you guys think that what is the general perception about justice? Because to me, I don't know, I may be completely incorrect. What I feel, what justice is, justice should be done in a way that if there is a wrongdoing in a society and we are collectively, majority of the society is agreeing that this is wrong, then justice needs to be done in a way that it is just not about revenge. It should be done in a way that.
So what is your question?
That justice will prevent such further wrongdoings in the society, right? So that is also a goal of justice, where the reformative part comes into play. But when overall in social media we are thinking that do we connect justice with reform, or it's more like we connect it with a punitive action?
So what the question being? So what are you saying? The social media does it actually?
Like what is the when we are talking about justice? How do
we are not talking about justice. We are just saying whether social media's goal is to provide a justice or a societal change. But societal change is not justice. I mean, there are two different parts. It is you who will decide whether the social media is justice or not. If you are saying that if it is justice is provided, what is that justice for? If I'm getting it right, is that your question?
Yeah,
right?
no, I'm asking that maybe what is the concept of justice that most of us are looking here for?
That will be a different topic of discussion. Absolutely.
Thanks for another topic.
Yeah, probably we'll do that. But to summarize finally, if we have to, then we understand that yes, social media's, this advent of the social media has resulted in a lot of voices being heard. But at the same time, it feels like most of the people have become reactive and they have become like judgmental, and they just do it for the heck of their own satisfaction. That's what the feel that I got most of this thing. So now whether that's the goal of the social media is to give justice, societal change, education, it is for the viewers and all of you to decide. I have got no opinion on that, to be honest. But if you do share or have any opinion on that, kindly do share. It will be nice of you to comment on our comment section. And anything else you guys want to add? All good, all right. Till we meet again. Next time we'll come up with another interesting topic, hopefully. And hopefully again you guys will be, watching us. Until then, see you. Bye.